Darlings, hello, and welcome to Life Simplified with A.N.D, and I'm Anna Nikita. Two kinds of guilt: self-inflicted guilt and guilt that is inflicted to us by others. We've all been to those little situations, of course, when after the party or gathering, there's a little voice that wakes us up and says, "Oh, you shouldn't have said this and this to so-and-so." And if we had a couple of drinks, that thought starts growing in our brain and bouncing around and become a circular thought, and we can't sleep. So those situations are random and they tend to work themselves out. I want to talk about guilt that grows with time and grows with us as we get more commitments and more responsibilities. I live in the area where most parents take a train, they commute to New York City so their children can go to nice schools, and then of course they barely see their kids. They feel guilty on weekends. They have to attend all kinds of sporting and theater events because they barely see their kids, and then they feel guilty about that because they're missing out on some work that they brought home, and it becomes like a vicious circle. I have to tell you, I've been there, I've done that, and reevaluating how many commitments you have is essential. I stopped volunteering as much as I did. I volunteered for 25 years. Check. I don't go to all of the school events or all of the sporting events. I go to some. Check. Remember that your family and your friends need you centered and happy, not flustered. So taking a little time for yourself, you shouldn't feel guilty. But that little voice, the moment you decide to take time for yourself, to do your hobby, to take that little time for yourself, a nap, starts getting in your head. Ooh, what are you doing? You haven't seen your kids. You didn't spend enough time with your wife or with your husband. Name that voice. Name it, identify it, and control it. What? Naming your voice? Yes, because it becomes part of you. You have to name it. I have a little nagging voice that wakes me up in the middle of the night. That voice is Helga. And she says, "Ooh, you haven't been spending too much time with your kids. You know how fast they grow. Have you been a good wife, really? You're getting older," and so and so. And that's when I say, "Helga, shut up." And trust me, identifying and naming it really helps you. Now, let's talk about guilt that is inflicted to us by others. And of course, the easiest way to deal with it is to say, "Oh, you shouldn't be around people that take you on guilt trips." But then it's not always possible. Not always possible, so let's just try to live with it. First off, they cannot take you on a trip if you don't want to take a trip. They cannot take you on a trip if you don't give them the key. So I was interviewing several couples for my book on long-term marriages, and there was this one couple. They were really cool, and their secret to long-term relationship was that they did not believe into taking each other on any guilt trips about anything, be that housework or their children. They have had most successful long marriage, and I have to tell you, I took this advice, and it is the best advice you can have in long-term relationship. It is very pure. Your relationship becomes really healthy. So telling people that are around you, "You know what, darling, I don't believe in guilt trips," is a really sound advice. So don't give these people opportunity to take you on that ride. Get off that guilty train, darling, and your life is going to be so much more pleasurable, and you will be happy, healthy, and balanced for people who deserve your time, who deserve your love and your happiness. So, point number one, name your guilty voice and learn how to control it. And point number two, don't let people take you on any guilt trips. And I will be here for you. Kissy, kissy, bye.